Part 4, left you in suspense there. So it's 10:30 now, Thursday night. A nurse comes in, she's got a bunch of paperwork, and she lays it down on the chair, and she says, "So, I hear you're being transported." "No, not me," I say. She said, "Yeah, you're going to St. Mary's." "No, not me." She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's Abbott Northwestern." "No, not me." She said, "I'm really sorry, I'll be right back." I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now what? So the charge nurse comes back and she apologizes that that's how I heard the news and that they had assumed that the doctor told me that I was being moved. And I said no, and I was under no understanding that this was something that was going to happen like right now, because he told me I wasn't unstable and that we just need to take care of it soon. And she says no, he thinks that we should take care of this tomorrow, but this hospital isn't able to, so we're going to take you up to the cities, and that they'll do the procedure tomorrow, but they need to get you up there so they can get all prepped for everything. And I'm like, holy smokes, now I have to call my husband and I have to call my parents and scare them at 10:30 at night, and I'm freaked out because now it feels like it's this urgent thing because I'm being whisked away, in the midnight hour again. So they get me all loaded up, and I'm taking another ambulance ride to a hospital that's about an hour and a half away at 10:30, and well, it ended up being a little bit after 11. So I get up there, and it's about 12:30, which is almost exactly the time I started in the first hospital. So I get up there, and then of course they do all the admin stuff, and all I want to do is pretty much break down and die because I'm in pain, I'm tired, I've got stuff everywhere. Now they want to poke me some more. So they come in and take more blood so they can do more tests, and then they tell me that the CT scan that was done in the first hospital wasn't very good, so they're going to have to do another one. So they start prepping me for that. And we're talking now, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm finally going to get a couple hours of sleep. Then at 6 o'clock they wake me up so I can start drinking that contrast liquid stuff again, so at 6 and 7 and 8. And then at 8:30 they whisk me off for another CT scan, and with the hopes that by sometime in the afternoon I can have this procedure, which they've decided if they insert a catheter they can just pretty much suck out the infection or the mass or whatever it is they think it is. Well, then I wait all day, and the oncologist doesn't come in, or at least a colleague, because my oncologist has been on vacation. So now they whisk me away in the middle of the night, and I scared a lot of people for really no reason. And I was really, really angry about that. I was really at the point where I just want to say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. Take everything out. Just let me sleep, and then I'll get a ride home. Very frustrating, especially when sometimes you don't feel like your voice is being heard, and there's nobody out there to talk to, because the doctors aren't around. And I'm not saying they're not good people, and I've had a couple of them come in that are super, and they care and they listen, but boy, sometimes you just feel like you're the fifth wheel in the whole thing. You're just there for them to poke and play with. So finally a nurse comes in the afternoon, and I said, is the oncologist actually coming in today? She goes, well, I'll put in another call. They were called at 8 o'clock and we haven't heard anything. So this was probably 3 in the afternoon. Well, I never hear back anything. So finally about 6 o'clock at night I tell one of the nurses that if I'm just going to sit around all weekend, I want to be discharged, because there's no point in me sitting in the hospital if they're not going to do anything. I don't need to be poked all weekend for no reason. It's really hard when you get a voice late in the game. But it shakes them up a little bit. So then my original nurse comes in and she apologizes. She goes, I did hear back from them, and they won't be able to make it until tomorrow morning. And I said, is that by noon? I said, does that mean noon? And she's like, and I said, I'm not taking this out on you. I said, but I'm a little angry right now. They whisked me out of a hospital before, in the middle of the night to bring me up here and hurry for all this stuff that, there never's a hurry. Because if it had been a real emergency, they'd have been ready and there, and, we'd have gotten it done. So, that was a really frustrating night. And then, of course, after taking some of my blood, they realized that my hemoglobin count is way down. I'm only a 7. So now they decided I need a blood transfusion. So that's the first time I've ever been given blood. And that was scary too, because first she tells you this and this and this and this can happen, and I can't even remember what all those things were. I think a headache, instant vomiting, coughing, choking, things hurting or burning, or chest pains, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want blood. So they hook it up, and I'm very quiet and still, and all of a sudden I just sit up and I'm just coughing like I can't catch my breath, and I press the call A button, and she comes in and she kind of helps me get calm first, because of course it scares you when you're kind of at a calm rest and you like jolt up, and then it eventually kind of calmed itself, and then it was okay. They slowed down the drip. So then that was a long night, up and down a lot, because by then I'd probably had 10 liters of fluid. Now I don't know where all that stuff goes. How do you lose 10 liters of fluid out of your body? Maybe I sweated out. I don't know. Maybe I was so dehydrated because I wasn't feeling good enough, so I didn't take enough in. I'm sure it's both of those things. But now I'm having to pee a lot, so it means I'm up and down, and it's really hard to go to the bathroom when you have IVs, like right in this area. You can't really do anything. Very hard because you bump things, and you shove needles into your hands farther. It was tough. It's all horrible. I don't know how little kids do it. Pray for your children that they keep healthy. I wouldn't wish any of this on my worst enemy. Nothing. Oh, okay. I'm thinking that's enough for this one.